Hello, Braves Country. It's Coach Ken Anderson, and are we excited at Hardcore Braves? We're going to start our Ryan's not as much as the other two, but start our trade edition podcast. This is June 25th, 2026, week one. We are 39 days away from trade deadline. I got on here my main man Ryan. How excited are you about the trade deadline?
We're 40 something days away. I mean,
39.
look, I need the trade deadline to get here because we are ass right now, buddy. We are not very good. So not having a fun time over here right now.
I know who is excited about the trade deadline. Miss Erin, welcome. How are you tonight? And are you excited about the trade deadline?
I'm doing great, and I am always excited about the trade deadline. Not necessarily for the result, but for the going ons before it happens. The anticipation is the best part for me.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's just fun to see all the fake trades and all the rumors and all that stuff. And who's really good at fake trades and rumors, Brave Country? My man Andrew Davison. He sends them to me left
Heck
and
yeah, I
right.
am.
Andrew, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. Let's talk some trade deadline. I have got DMs after DMs on Instagram. Make sure you go follow me on Hotlanta Highlights. But I've got DMs going probably 2 weeks deep that I'm still getting back to on trade deadline. Um, we're ready over on Instagram. I'm ready, and we're preparing for it. But let's talk some deadline.
Yeah, it tells me all the time she gets lit up in TikTok, and me and poor Ryan, we get them text messages and all kind of crap. So y'all keep sending them to us. So how we're going to break this down is the first thing we're going to do is every week is announce any trades made. We did have a trade this week. Last night, the Mets sent David Peterson to the Cubs, which means Edward Cabrera is actually really hurt pretty bad. So that's the only deal we got to talk about. So what do you make of the deal, Ryan? Peterson going to the Cubs.
The uh the Cubs got on the phone. They came into their huddle. They said, "What is the cheapest and most inexpensive option right now to fill our rotation?" And somebody said, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, the New York Mets David Peterson. Bam. You're hired." And they made the trade. That's exactly how that happened because nobody who's trying to win is seriously trying to get David Peterson. I'm just going to keep it a buck 10 with you.
David, I don't know where they're going to pitch. He's only going to give him like 4 or 5 innings as a starter. Aaron, what did you make out of the trade?
Yeah, the same as Ryan. Pretty uneventful, but they did what they had to do.
Andrew, yeah, what do you think? You think the Cubs got a steal with David Peterson?
Um, Not really. Maybe if he pitches like he was in what 2022.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? He's a cheap, great option. He's a lefty, but he likes to give up the home run ball, and he's going to home run derby ballpark number two in Wrigley Field. So good luck, David Peterson. I'm glad you're not a Met anymore, but good luck at Wrigley Field, buddy.
Yeah, I'm disappointed we don't get to hit off of him July 4th weekend. But the interesting thing is there must not have been a lot of call for David Peterson. The Cubs traded a minor league prospect that's been on the IL. So they didn't get a lot for him. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the teams that are in sell mode already. This list will grow and it may change from week to week. A team may say they kind of be in sell mode, they're not. And we'll have the teams that are close. So right now, the three teams that I think are definitely, I'm hearing definitely in sell mode, Aaron, are the Rockies, Giants, and Red Sox. Do you see them as already sellers in this market?
I do, yeah. At first, I wasn't thinking that the Rockies were gonna be sellers this year. Not because that they have a chance, but just on their own volition. But yeah, those three, especially the Red Sox, I think they're already in sell mode.
Yeah, the Red Sox are a dumpster fire, though they're giving the Yankees fits tonight as we're filming this. Andrew, those three teams, do you see them in sell mode? Rockies, Giants, Red Sox.
Um, I definitely see a couple of them in sell mode. I didn't really expect the Rockies to maybe be here because They're the Rockies. They suck. And Boston's a dumpster fire. They got a lot of tradable pieces anyway. And then the San Francisco Giants, as we're getting ready to see again this weekend, they're a mess. But um, they've got a lot of tradable candidates out there that are in a really weird situation with their contract.
Yeah, these teams, Ryan. The Rockies are just a bad team, bad organization is trying to learn how to do whatever. The Giants and Red Sox have bad contracts, and they also have veterans that teams will want. Do you see these three teams already in sell mode?
Well, first off, the Rockies, me and you could do a better job of running that organization than their brain trust up there right now. But well, we could probably do a better job than Breslow with the Red Sox if I'm keeping it a buck 10 with you too, there, Ken. Yeah, they got not just they're not just terrible teams; they're just terrible organizations. The Giants have really fell off since Posey retired and is now the GM, but he's only been there a year, so I can't blame that all on him. But yeah, minus 90 run differential for the Rockies will definitely put you in sell mode right there. That'll do it. The Red Sox have been a dumpster fire of an organization for the last couple of years, so I can definitely see that. And the poor Giants, they got so much going on out there in San Francisco right now. It's not even funny. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the Giants are going to move some of their pieces because the contracts are so bad and their players aren't really playing well. I know Robbie Ray is starting to pick it up lately, but overall, I mean, their only really trade asset that they have is Logan Webb, and they don't want to get rid of him. So they got a couple pieces in the bullpen, but they need to get rid of Logan Webb if they want to really replenish their farm system.
Yeah, Ryan, kind of. We're going to go through the teams and kind of mention the players, the guys that we have on the close list. Now, Ryan thinks one of these ought to be also, but the American League is horrible right now, so their owners already come out and said they don't want to sell. The teams are the Mets, the Royals, the Angels, and Reds. Ryan, I know you think the Angels should already be in sell mode, but those four should they already be thinking about maybe jumping ship?
The Angels have already should have been in that ship. They are like one of the top four worst run organizations in baseball. No thanks to Artie Moreno. So yeah, they should be in sell mode. The Reds, I think, probably need to let it play out maybe a little bit longer, but they're definitely not heading in the right direction with a minus 50. So I think they should lean away more sell. But it's going to be interesting because those teams are kind of borderline. I think the Angels and Reds are the two that really need to jump ship and go ahead and just start selling, especially the Reds. Your farm system's empty pretty much right now. You got young, controllable guys who haven't really won since you started bringing them up in, 23-ish is when they started coming up. So, I don't know. I'd probably sell them, get some pieces back in your farm system, and you can probably make another run at it in 2 years. That's probably what I would do if I was the Reds.
Andrew, those four teams, Mets, Reds, Royals, Angels, you think they should go ahead and start thinking about selling, or would you hold on and try to go for a playoff run?
Well, neither four of those teams are making the playoffs. Let's be real. Artie Moreno's a idiot. He should have been still, like Ryan said. He should have been. He should have, like I always say this. He should have traded Mike Trout 3 years ago. And then he's got other pieces around there that have been there for some time, but they have a terrible farm system. Ryan said one of the top four worst organizations in baseball. I'd argue a top five worst organization in all of American sports, along with the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans. But the Reds, they've got a lot of young, good pieces that are quality, but they're not going anywhere. They're in a really tough division. They've got a minus 50 run differential. Ellie De La Cruz is not happy right now with them. And the New York Mets are just Metsing. This is I told you, Cam, before the year the Mets are going to struggle. It's a weird team. They wasn't constructed. It wasn't put well together. And I think they've got a couple players that I think some teams are certainly going to be calling about. And if David Stearns actually did his job, he'd actually maybe win a couple fans back.
Yeah, the problem with the Mets, though, they also have bad contracts. It's going to be hard to ship this money. Aaron, Mets, Reds, Royals, Angels, should they go into sell mode?
Well, I want the Royals to go into sell mode. I think the Mets should have been in sell mode yesterday. I don't know why that they're considering holding out. Um, they really just, what did they do in the offseason besides trying to go after the biggest free agent? I think they really dug themselves into a hole, and maybe they're realizing that now, but they also have the money to support all of this chaos. So we'll see, but I think the Mets should be sellers. I want the Royals to be sellers. I agree with Andrew on the Reds, and obviously the Angels should be sellers as well, even though they've come out and said, like Joe Adele, Detmers, they're not open to shopping them, but we all know how that goes.
Yeah, Aaron teed me up here. So, guys, here's how it works. I made a video on this. So, if I have a couch for sale and I've got to get rid of it, the last thing I'm going to do is tell you it's for sale because you know I'm desperate. The thing I'm going to do is tell you it's an heirloom in my family and I want to hold on to it to try to drive the price up. So that's all these losing teams are doing right now. And all the winning teams are going like, we don't need nobody. We like our team how it is. This is called jostling, and that's what they're doing. Anybody that we didn't name out of those seven teams before we start breaking down these players that you think maybe should be there, I don't see anybody else. I think everybody else can make a run, including the Tigers. They do have Tariq Skubal, and they're in a division that's kind of weird. They kind of go through these weird streaks. They always make runs. Is there anybody else, Ryan, that you noticed that maybe should be on this list?
The Rangers.
That's a good one.
The Rangers. They got
I
some
think
really tradable pieces that could replenish their farm system. They're not going anywhere. They don't have enough talent, and they're not deep enough roster wise. I think they should be sellers as well.
I kind of agree, Aaron. How about you? I think they're maybe waiting on with Corey coming back to see if they can make some sort of run. But what do you think about the Rangers?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. Probably waiting on Corey Seager to come back. I was going to say the Twins need to go ahead and jump into sell mode. I know that they're pushing for that last wild card spot, but a lot can happen in a month, and they have a really good chance right now to rebuild the team around Pablo Lopez when he returns next season or in 2028 if we don't have a 2027 season. They've got a lot of valuable assets. They can get a haul for Joe Ryan, one that's comparable or even better than what Tarek Skubal's going to get. I think they should take advantage of that right now while he's got this contract with what, a year left of team control after this season. I mean, the opportunity is right there for them to go ahead and get this moving if they want the biggest return.
I kind of agree on Joe Ryan, but I understand why the Twins are trying to hold in there. Again, it's that division. That division is a weird division, and I think all the teams look up at the White Sox and go, "That pitching staff, we can catch them." Andrew, anybody else that you see that's not on this list?
Uh, we're already going down by the order of the American League wild card standings. Ryan went the Rangers. Aaron went the Twins. I'm right there with them. The Baltimore Orioles. The
Oh,
Baltimore Orioles should start to sell. They or start thinking about it. Um, there's been some rumors about Pete Alonso being a kind of a locker room head case there. They're kind of not meshing. Adley Rutschman, I know Baltimore really likes their young catching prospect. They've got some good starting pitchers that would be nice in the market, a couple relievers as well, and then maybe a guy like a right-handed power bat that's a super ultra luxury right now in Taylor Ward, who a lot of teams I think will start calling about. We'll just obviously as we're taping this on June 25th, or it's just a little early, but the
I think that
Baltimore Orioles.
I think the Orioles have the toughest path here because the Orioles have so many players. And I think they know where they're going to sell or whatever. So let's get into each team. We know the Red Sox are sellers, Aaron, and right now on the list I got, and you may have, she has her own list too. Sonny Gray, Garrett Whitlock, Roldis Chapman, and Jaron Duran seem to be the four guys they may shop. What do you think about those four? And you got anybody else to add from the Red Sox?
Those are the guys on my list as well. I think Sonny Gray at this point is probably the most movable. He's publicly expressed his frustration with Boston. He does have a no trade clause, but I'm sure that he's willing to waive it. But the problem is his contract. But Boston may eat some of that to move him. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but realistically, I think if they start selling, he's going to be one of the first to go.
Yeah, I agree. Andrew, those four, anybody you want to add from the Red Sox or any comments on Gray, Whitlock, Chapman, Duran?
I think Jaron Duran will be a really interesting piece for our listeners. You're going to hear sometime soon. But Ken and I were discussing Jaron Duran. Roman Anthony is coming back soon from the injured list, and the Red Sox really like Rafaela. They really like Wilyer Abreu and that really nice lefty swing. So they have four outfielders for three spots. And Cedon Rafaela is such a great center fielder defensively. They're not going to put him back in the infield. So that kind of, to me, that leaves the odd man out of Duran. Craig Breslow's an idiot anyway, but I think he's got to sell Duran, and I think it'd be best for the Red Sox in terms of what they could get, and then just to be a good opportunity for Jaron to maybe get out of Boston, as he's had a lot of stuff happen to him there.
And they've been talking about trading Duran now for 2 years. I think Jaron wants to get out of there. How about you, Ryan? Those four, anybody you want to add?
To be imagined, they're going to try to find a trade partner for Trevor Story if anybody would even be willing to take him. So I could see Trevor trying to be on the block. I would love a Garrett Whitlock, Alex Anthopoulos, if you're listening. I mean, if you're not going to add the starting pitching, might as well make the bullpen stupid really good. So that would be fun. That'd be kind of cute.
Yeah, because then, I mean, he wouldn't care. He has these weird splits anyhow, so he can get lefties out with his stuff. So he would fit as a kind of a left-handed guy. So I want to add Wilson Contreras. I was surprised I didn't get him on the list, but he is a malcontent. They maybe have a tough time shipping him. So go real quick. He's already told me Garrett Whitlock, Erin. Of those four, who would you want to be a Brave?
Uh, it's a tie between Jaron Duran and Sonny Gray.
Yeah, Andrew.
Ryan just said Whitlock to make the bullpen stupid good. How about a Aroldis Chapman? How
Yeah,
about a Aroldis Chapman?
yeah, Roldis Chapman. I'm going to go with Whitlock too. I think Garrett Whitlock is the one that meets the Braves clubhouse and everything about him. So let's go to the second team. We're playing them this weekend, the Giants, Aaron. There's not a lot there because the Braves are not going to get interesting in the Damas, the Chapman, the Devers. The contracts are not going to match. And we have a third baseman. We have a first baseman. And I don't think Damas is their answer at shortstop. So the three guys we may be interested in, I'm hearing, are Eric Miller, Logan Webb, Robbie Ray. You got anybody to add to that list, or is that who you're hearing?
That's what I have too. Logan Webb, obviously, but that's going to be a hard one to move. Um, if I had to choose a second one, I'd say Miller.
Yeah, I love Eric Miller. He's one of my favorite relief pitchers. Andrew, those three, anybody that add from the Giants? And what do you think about those three?
Well, if Robbie Ray keeps pitching the way he is, I know he may not be the best clubhouse guy known in Major League Baseball, but if you get him for half a season, he continues to pitch well. Adding a second lefty out of the starting rotation could be very beneficial. But Webb's going to be a ton. But something I'm looking to see maybe the Giants move is Luis Ariz. He's on a 1-year deal. He consistently gets on base. He kills us too. And it'll be interesting to see what they do about Luis because they're not going to move any. I don't believe any team's going to take on one of those three contracts, Matt, Willie, and Raphael. But I think someone's going to take on and bring in Luis.
That's a good catch. I mean, Luis, I don't think he fit here, but he definitely may get traded. How about you, Ryan?
Well, me and you have talked off script. I'd love to have Eric Miller and Logan Webb. Logan Webb might be the dude I'd unload some prospects for, even if that may include one of the shortstops that I'm so very fond of, because Logan Webb's just that dude.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. I mean, definitely there's certain guys that fall in that category. I'm an Eric Miller guy. So let's move on to the Rockies. This is the names: Castro, Sensatella, Moniak, Lorenzen. That's the four. That's the four that everybody wants to go get Hunter Goodman. They're not going to ship Hunter Goodman. They're not going to ship any of those other guys. What do you think, Aaron, on those four?
Yeah, I want Moniac if we're picking one of those. But yeah, I could see at least two of them getting moved if the Rockies are sellers.
Yep. Andrew?
I'd really like Willie Castro. He's kind of a similar Mauricio Dubon, can play the corner outfield. You put him anywhere in the infield, he'll play well. He can steal bags. He's a switch hitter, if I remember correctly. Is he still a switch hitter? Yeah, that too. And maybe even Michael Lorenzen. Michael Lorenzen, he can come out of the bullpen. He could be a quality starter for you at points in time. But Willie Castro for me.
Right.
Look, buddy, me and you talked about this last night, and I brought his name up about 2 weeks ago, and you thought about it, and you're like, man, that's a really good idea. Willie Castro and give me Senzatella. That fixes so many problems right now because we can say, bye-bye, Kim, you're going to the bench. Doobie's going to play shortstop. Willie's going in the outfield. Or Willie goes to short. Doobie plays the outfield. Senzatella can eat up innings in the rotation or in the bullpen. He's been kind of nasty and cute looking this year. I'm just saying. I would give up. I'm not going to go into trade package yet. You can go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
So we're on the recap last night, and we get talking after we get finished, and everybody knows my West Coast people send in. So what if this deal were to get made with the Braves pull the trigger? Owen Murphy, Lodi's, Hackenberg, and the Rockies take up Kim's salary to finish the season, and they send us
Send
Willie
it.
Castro and Sensatella. I already know Ryan's all in on this. Aaron, would you do that deal?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
That sounds, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I hate giving up on Owen Murphy this early. As far as Lodi's, I think we got plenty of shortstops. Hackenberg doesn't like the Braves have plans for Drew. I like Hackenberg a lot. What about you, Andrew? If the Braves were to make an early trade and just to kind of settle everything down and go get Castro and Sensatella, if they're going to move Reynaldo to the starting rotation, I mean, if he actually works out, or vice versa, they have another guy they can put in that mix. What do you think about that?
Oh, I would go get Sensatella and Castro early right now. I mean, Castro's nice. Sensatella can throw gas. You think Didier is throwing gas? Add Sensatella into that mix. And then you got Suarez, Sensatella, and Fuentes throwing cheese in the bullpen. And that would be nasty.
It would. And the only reason we're bringing this up, that's the kind of trade, if anything gets traded before All-Star break would be traded. There are no big names going to go. Sonny Gray's not coming here. They're going to leverage that. So that'll be the kind of trade with the Rockies or the Giants or the Red Sox. And between those three, the Rockies is the one that makes the most sense because the rest of them are going to have the weird contracts. So let's go to the close teams. I don't think the Braves need anybody from the Mets, but the two guys we keep hearing they may ship are Peralta and Vientos. Aaron, you want anything of Peralta or Vientos?
I'm good. I'm good on Peralta. He's proved that he's not worth the 7-year contract that he's vying after. They can keep him.
Andrew,
No.
no on
They
Freddie.
play for the Mets. I'd maybe take Clay Holmes. So that's about it.
Yeah, he was running.
But
He was running today. He's fixing to come back. He was
yeah,
actually still throwing and running. How about you, Ryan? You want any Mets action?
Brother, I wanted to stay away from the Peralta plague when he was back in Milwaukee. You knew I wouldn't find him. That hadn't changed at all. It
No,
just got
that's
reinforced.
so. I got to ask this because it's on Braves Twitter. Any thought of going getting AJ and bringing him home? Are we done with that? Are we done with just bringing Braves home, Ryan? I know you are. You want to speak to that? I mean, Mentor. Everybody wants Mentor to come home, but I'm kind of done with bringing the old Braves from 21 home. How about you?
AJ hadn't been healthy. Why the heck would we want to bring him? Look, AJ, thank you for 21. You threw your hip out for us. I will always love you forever and ever. Amen for that. But yeah, you're not going to help us win another World Series anytime soon. No.
How about you, Aaron? You want any AJ Mentor action?
No, I'm of the same mind as Ryan, as nostalgic as it is, and sometimes I think about bringing Jorge Soler home as well, and even Jock Peterson, but it's just not realistic this day and age. They're not going to do what they did in 2021, so we just have to let it go.
Then we have to let it go. And Andrew, to her case, I mean, we heard a lot of Jock Peterson too, but I don't know if anybody's noticed. Jock's added some, I call bowling weight. He looks like a bowler now, and he's playing first base. I don't think there's a lot of call for Jock either. How about you with the Mets? With AJ Minter, would you be interested in AJ coming home?
No,
We
I
just
love
upset,
AJ, but no.
we just upset a lot of Twitter guys, but that's okay. I agree with y'all. So let's go to the next team. The Angels, oh God, Artie Moreno says we're not going to make a trade. He's got four really good pieces. Joe Odell, Neto, Soriano, who pitched terrible the other day, by the way. Soriano, I don't know, maybe something wrong with him. And then Detmers. Of those four, anybody else on the Angels or any of those four you're really interested, in, Aaron?
I would like Detmers and Joe Adele. I think, but getting both of them in a package would fill a lot of needs for us. And if I'm not mistaken, their contracts are pretty decent. Is one of them
One
is
goes
one
through
year?
28 and one goes through
Yeah.
27. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that looks like something that AA would do if they do decide to sell. So I would definitely go after those two.
Andrew, Angels.
Detmers, and I'm going to pivot off Aaron and go Zach Neto. Now, would a package of that happen? No. But if we could possibly get one of them, I would be all in. Like I said before, pairing another lefty with Chris Sale. But then there's Zach Neto, who's got some nice little quiet pop at shortstop. Send Dubon to be the full-time left fielder. I think that would be he would be a really nice addition to the top half of our lineup.
I like it. How about you, Ron? Angels.
The two most ideal would be Detmers and Zach Neto, but I would love Detmers. I don't know how much they would want for Zach Neto before I would pivot off of Willie Castro personally for that, but they do have two nice names that I like.
I think Detmers is the perfect fit for the Braves. Left-hander. His demeanor reminds me of Tom Glavine on the mound. He just like so cool. I'm a I'm a Detmers guy, and I love Joe Odell. I think Joe Odell would be possibly the piece in left field. And I was thinking, would Perry do AA a solid and just take Hassan Kim's contract back to eat it for a year, and maybe AA can give him a stake or something. So somehow he traded this Rossio Iglesias. He should never trade this Rossio Iglesias. So I don't know. Maybe we can go and rob him again. Next team is the Royals, and oh, me and Aaron love the Royals. They got guys. It's their two starters. Waka, Lugo. Lugo had a tough day today, by the way, which is okay for us because they have bad days. The price goes down. Strom is struggling this year. I still like him. And Garcia, Ronnie's little nephew or cousin, excuse me, cousin, is on the IL and he's having kind of an off year. Can the Braves go pluck him? Some think maybe they can. Anybody on the Royals and those four names, Aaron?
Waka is at the top of my list for the Royals. Lugo close second.
Yep. Drew?
I like Lugo a little bit better than Waka. I think the stuff may play a little bit better in October with the cutter and a big curveball. Um, I've always been high on Strom because he's kicked our butt when he was with the Phillies. Um, but he's struggling this year. But Luka or Waka, I would not mind at all and would be a very nice veteran fit into our starting rotation.
Andrew? I like Walker better than Lugo. Uh, just because the innings Lugo is pitched, I think we might be in the same boat as we are with some of our starters. I could see him wearing down. He concerns me. But that said, I take him probably right now.
Mhm.
Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, you have talked pretty extensively about the Royals. I would definitely love Michael Walker to come over. I would be a-okay with Lugo, especially if we could flip-flop some players for each other. That one, like you don't even have to swap minor leaguers. You can do a couple guys off the big league roster. I know Strom's probably struggled this year, but he's still a lefty with a sinker and cutter. And I know Jeremy Hefner absolutely loves working with guys who have sinker and cutters. So all three of those guys fit the bill, and I would be very interested to see what Jeremy Hefner could do with all three of them.
So this was given to me by one of the Royals with the Braves. Which team would say no? It was which team hangs up first? John Hill for Miguel Garcia straight up. Aaron, who says no first?
Probably the Braves,
Okay.
but I
Andrew?
don't know.
You don't know? Andrew?
I think the Royals say no first or hang up first.
How about you, Ryan?
They would say John Click. That's would be the Atlanta Braves. Okay, there ain't no shot that they would want Michael Garcia for John Hill. No shot.
That was given to me by Eric Hosmer, by the way. Royals guy that on TV. So be interesting. I don't think that trade ever gets made, but that is an interesting one. So, uh, last team, the Reds. I put out a tweet, keep an eye on the Reds. Some of the people around the Reds think if they keep free falling, they're going to sell. The guys out there, there's plenty of them. Steer, Blade, pitchers Lodolo, Abbott, bullpen is Mole. He's a left-hander. He's really nasty. If they get really kind of funky, they may even entertain a big package for Burns or De La Cruz. That would be a total rebuild. I don't think they'll go that far, but Aaron, Cincinnati Reds, you interested in any of the Red players?
I gotta be honest with you, at this point, I'm really not. But if they become sellers, those some of those players you mentioned, not the big ones, um, seem like something AA would do.
Andrew.
Nick Lodolo, big, tall lefty. I think getting out of Great American Small Park will be very beneficial for him, and I really think he'd be a good fit in our rotation. Mole's a good guy out of the left side, throws gas. We'll see how it goes, but I think Lodolo would be the one I'd go after.
Lodolo or Andrew Abbott out of the rotation. I just think Burns is going to be a little bit too pricey. So, I mean, if you really want to go by position players, Spencer Steer would probably help us out a lot, especially with some right-handed pop. I'm pretty sure he can play left field and platoon with Yaz out there. That would free up Doobie to go play shortstop, and HSK can go ride the bench for the rest of the season for all I care. So, I'd be interested in those two. Sam Mall's a good option as well. I always like left-handed relievers, so they got some really good options and fun options.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. The Braves have made trades with the Reds before. Adam Duvall was the big one in 20. Come to us. He didn't come from the Marlins, but we have made trades with the Reds. That's how. What was the kid? Lucas Sims went in a trade. Remember, Lucas went up there and pitched well for them. All right, so that's all the teams. Let's delve into the guys that everybody's talking about. Do we believe they're going to get traded? The Braves have a chance. Tarek Skubal, Byron Buxton are the two big names out there that everybody said no. Any of the Astro players, which is Pena and Yordan Alvarez, and they've said Dana Brown had to come out and say we're not trading them either. So that's kind of the four, and Mike Trout. Mike Trout's the other one. So that's the five guys, the big name players, Aaron. I wonder who she's interested in, Ryan. Of those five, who are you the most interested in, and do you think we have a chance to get any of those big five to Atlanta?
Um, I actually, at this point, first of all, I don't think any of these people, percentage wise, it's probably a 0 to 10% for any of them if we're being realistic. But right now, I'm very intrigued with Scooball. I don't know if you guys saw his stat line from his last outing, but since his surgery, he has over 4 ERA. So he's just driving his value down, and he's also a rental. So he's not going to get this giant haul that, people are expecting him to get. And as I discussed in my post a couple of days ago, The CBA stuff may factor into because everyone's like, oh, he's a Boris client. We're not going to work with him. Well, HSK is a Boris client, by the way. I mean, we see how well that's working out for us, but we're not completely closed off to working with Scott Boris. Number one. Number two, he might be open to extension talks, even if it's just a year or two or a club option, because of this CBA stuff. If salary cap is implemented, he's not going to get this giant payday. It's all going to be different, and this gives him contract security. And if it's just 1 to 2 years, he can hit free agency still in his prime. He's only 29.
Yeah. I got a thought on that. I'll get to it in a minute about the CBI. I've seen that tossed around on X. So, Andrew, any of those big five, any chance they come to Atlanta, and which one would you think would be the most likely?
I mean, as a fan, I would love Tarek Skubal to exactly why what Aaron just said, but the one I really, really want is Byron Buxton. He's a hometown kid. He's never really been in the playoffs too much. If he has, he's maybe been to never really made it out of the first round. Um, but I think Byron Buxton would do wonders here. Doobie, shortstop, Byron in left field. Which there's some rumors out there that Byron's okay playing left field somewhere else and maybe not wanting to be the primetime center fielder as he's got a lot of injury history. But Buxton also has got a playable contract for some years of it. So from years post 2026 to where it's a good deal for the Atlanta Braves. And I think Byron Buxton would be, out of those five, the best player to bring to the Atlanta Braves.
What you got?
Everybody calm down. I'm sorry to rain on your parade. Scooble's not coming to Atlanta. I'm sorry, Aaron. It's just not
I
happening.
never said he was. I'm
But
just saying it's more possible than it
100%.
was. Yeah.
I only got 0 on that. But there is one, and you will be happy about this, Mr. Buxton. And I just dropped the trade that I would do in order to get Mr. Buxton and Mr. Ryan out of Minnesota. I wouldn't be scared to do that at all, but I'm not gonna give that tidbit out just yet. Ken, go ahead, buddy.
That'd be Tate. That would definitely be Tate would be gone in that deal if we were to get both of them. So that would be 100% Tate would go on that deal. So we'll see. I'm just telling you 100%. I know what they're asking me. Evan tells me all the time that's 100%. Evan, I shot you out. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, but Ryan started shaking his head. Tate South the scene would be who they want. They want him to be the shortstop of their future. So, but it may be worth it for Joe Ryan and Byron Bush, especially when a 2026 World Series. I don't care who we trade if we win a World Series. I don't. You win, and then we reset it again. I'll say this about Tarek Scuba real quick, Ryan. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Aaron's missing on one thing. If there is everybody wants to go to the salary cap. Okay, Aaron, I agree with that. It could limit him. The problem is, it's going to be a salary floor. And if you're the Tampa Rays, and you got to spend an extra $40 million a year, but you got all these young players you don't have to spend any money on, and you think you're the smartest team in baseball, which they maybe are, them or the Brewers. Why not just spend $40 million on Tarek Skubal? Why not give him the contract? Because you don't care. You don't care how you get to the floor. I'd rather pay it on one player, risk one player, than pay it on a bunch of them and not really know. And I think what's going to happen here in our one of our favorites on Twitter, Ben Weaver, was big on this, is he's wrong. I hate to tell you that, Ben, because the fact of the matter is these bottom teams are going to look for, that's what they want them to do. They find one player to bump up the salary, and they're going to pay one player. So if you're Colorado Rocky and you're going, you know what, we got to get to this floor, let's just pay Jordan Alvarez $50 million a year. And now we already made the floor, and then we can just figure everything else around it. I think that's what you're going to have, and I just don't see Tarek Skubal. And I don't mean that AAA won't go get him, because I don't care. He may go trade whatever. If he thinks he can win a World Series, I do think that I know this time it was more of a personal matter where he got hit this time. He got hurt. We thought it was his arm, but it turned out it was in a gentle region on a man. But you know, his value because he is coming off an injury, I think is going down like at Aaron's point. So we'll see. So that's what we got. So we'll get everybody give a shot. Anything they want to add out on the trade deadline? We did have our first trade. It was the Mets, LOL, kind of giving up on Peterson to the Cubs. We've went over the teams, the players out there. If you expect anything before July, say the All Star game, it's going to be probably something more minor, not a major player. So look for a guy, maybe the Reds. Spencer Steele would be that kind of guy. We'll go to Atlanta in a deal or something like that. Anything you got, Aaron, to add to the show before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to add some Twins stuff, of course. Everyone loves to argue. Byron Buxton has said, I'm a twin," and then they did a press conference, the front office, and they're like, "We have no plans of trading Byron Buxton." We have no plans of, and we are not moving are two different things. And you're gonna sit here and tell me that if they move Joe Ryan and Jeffers, that Byron Buxton's just gonna sit back and think that he can win with that team? No, he has complete control. They have to at least listen to offers on him if they are going to move those two guys. And
100%.
then build a team around Pablo Lopez next year, like I said, with the prospects that you're getting, and go from there. Just leaving Byron Buxton stranded while you're trying to sell off these assets, to me, is negligence.
I fully agree. I don't see the world that Byron Buxton can never win a world championship in Minnesota. It just doesn't come to mind. So,
Yeah.
but I didn't think the Kansas City Royals were going to make the run they did. So, Andrew, anything before we get out of here?
Piggyback off what Aaron just said about Buxton. Makes no sense. I mean, they're pushing stupidity with the Los Angeles Angels right now. They've got all these pieces. They're not winning a World Series. They wouldn't even win a World Series. They kept this team together 7 years. It's not happening. Go get you some really good pieces. We have the prospects, just throwing this out there, to go get a package of Joe Ryan and Byron Buxton. I'm not going to say it, but I think we all on here and then our listeners can figure it out and put a pretty good package together for both of them. And I would do wonders to get them both. They help this team in so much, and they're, like I said before, they are both on really good contracts for the Atlanta Braves.
Alex, I want you to stop what you're doing right now, pick up the phone, call Colorado, and go get me Willie Castro and Senzatella. I'm asking nicely, please, good sir. Thank you.
If they hang up, call the Reds and say, I want Spencer Steele and Nicoladella. And let's get right. Hey, I will say this here. David Dombrowski, real quick, said Todd Zolecki, great Philadelphia writer, said they're going to make a big deal. I wonder if that's going to be Trout or Scooble. That seems to be works for Philadelphia. So we'll see what Ryan's.
God.
You got something, Ryan?
They don't have any prospects. They got nothing in the farm system besides Painter and Painter's booty cheeks. They got nothing.
Probably would be. I would say they're going to trade some of their major league talent.
Yeah.
What major league talent besides the guys who are under big contracts?
That would be Bone. Some of them.
Home is terrible.
Who
Him
wants
and
him?
Stott are not very good. Like they're
Well,
bad, man.
well,
I just
know.
I'm
just
not even
telling
being
you.
a Phillies hater, guys. If I'm looking at your roster, you got a good roster. If you look at the farm system, where's it at? Where are you guys going to be making all these trades? Where's the money going to go? You're paying oodles of money to Harper, Turner, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, who's throwing a 5.5 ERA out there for you guys right now. Unless you move somebody like that, I just don't see it happening, man. I just don't. I think Philly is who they are. They might add some small pieces, but they might blow me away. I don't see it, man.
So what do you think, Aaron? Zalecki says Nebraska's going to make a big move. Is Philadelphia going to pull the trigger?
No, Ryan's right. They
Okay.
don't have a farm, and their big league talent that is movable is not big league talent.
All right, I bet you, Drew. He's smirking.
Oh, I think Dombrowski would do it. He's done it before. He'll do it again. He's such a greedy MFer. He would do it in a heartbeat. I don't think he'd get Scooble, but I think he would be greedy enough to go get Trout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trout makes the most sense out of the two of them for the Philadelphia Phillies because I think Aaron Nola could pitch well in the playoffs. He has before, but they need outfield offensive help, and Mike Trout solves that issue very much and pairs nicely with Brandon Marsh. That would worry me a little bit.
Ryan
I
says
wouldn't be
the
worried.
Ryan says
Yeah.
the 5 through 9 hitters for the Phillies are ass. That's what he always tells me.
They are.
They are.
But but also, who are they going to give up at the major league level for Mike Trout? Alec Bohm stinks. Who's their center fielder? I forget his name.
It would be Crawford.
He's
It would be
he's
Crawford.
popped. He got popped, right?
Oh, Rojas.
Rojas, he got popped.
That dude's worse than Alec Bohm.
Crawford.
I think
You can't give up Crawford though,
Time
but
out.
you would have to.
It's Justin
Yeah.
Crawford. Justin Crawford. Justin
Yes.
Crawford's a young center fielder that would go in the deal.
That's terrible. If they
Bryson
do that,
Stott,
they give up their.
Andrew Painter. They could give a lot more than you realize.
They give up.
Even though you
That
think
Stott
they're
ain't
ass.
nothing. Stott's a replacement level player, but Painter and Crawford. Go ahead, Philly. Please do it. Get the nursing home ready for them, please. I beg you. I wanted y'all to sign Bo Bichette this offseason. Please go ahead and go get Mike Trout. Y'all can have a nice little Philadelphia nursing home over there in a couple of years. Please
Right.
do it.
Get that team age average up. Go ahead.
We hate the Phillies around here. I know that. So they do what they got to do to get worse because they're going to be a thorn in our side the rest of the way, big time. So, all right. So we're going to get out of here. That's your first trade show. We can't wait till next week, and maybe we'll have a Braves trade, Aaron. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Probably not, but that'd be cool.
Willie.
All right, remember to follow us at Hardcore Braves. Erin on deck. She's Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Congratulations, boys. Have y'all congratulated her personally? I did. Over 10,000 followers on TikTok. Congratulations. Y'all make sure you jump in there. She's doing a great job. We post all of her, try to get her links. Y'all get over there. Just go over there and follow her. That way it pops up. Get the notifications going. She makes videos. You'll wake up every morning, there'll be a new video, which is the coolest thing. It starts my day every day. Andrew over Hot Atlanta Highlights, over 11,000 now. Andrew, some congratulations on that. And go jump on him. Hot Atlanta Highlights. You have to listen to all stuff. They put a lot of Braves stuff on there, Andrew. And then Braves Hip Coil is crushing it. If you're not watching Braves Hip Coil, Ryan is crushing it on Braves Hip Coil. He is giving you pearls. And make sure you jump in his own YouTube channel, TikTok channel, and you can find him on X. So we appreciate y'all. We love you, Braves Country. And as always, we're out, and peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.